Good morning. Today I've been asked to come speak to the Struthers Middle School 8th grade class. As I do that, and out of camera shot, walk around this room, the auditorium, it's empty. Stage curtains are open. There's students' bags all over the floor with names, and the school year is prematurely over. For my 8th graders that are graduating, you don't get to sit in this auditorium and you don't get to hear me give my presentation to you for 40 minutes. So I was fortunate enough by a few folks who love what we do and what I do. Mrs. Kuntz called and said, would I be willing to do a video? And the answer is, of course. So as I give you a very short, abbreviated version of my talk when I speak to the 8th graders, first of all, I want to congratulate you. Congratulate you on the fact that you are graduating, whether you're going to get that celebration like we usually have or not. You are going into your freshman year of high school. The other thing I want you to remember is that sitpog means standing or sitting in the presence of greatness. This morning I brought some of my props, the cow picture, which I'll talk about in a minute, as well as the United States flag, which is from this auditorium. The reason I'm displaying the flag is because just a few months ago I said this country is no longer united. And over the last few months, we have figured out how to play nice together again as a nation. People are getting anxious to want to get out of quarantine and get back to their lives. I hope it never goes back to normal. But I just want us to remember that many people sacrificed a great deal, including their lives, in order to give us the freedoms we have, including the ones I'm exercising this morning, free speech. To be able to come here and speak to you by video and to remind you that you're not an accident, you're not a mistake, there's a purpose for your life. When I do my presentations, I always show my runner's baton, and I think a lot of the kids are like, wow, he must really like track. And I'm like, nah, I don't like track. I like the kid that plays or runs track. And this morning, as we celebrate your graduation, it's your turn. It's your turn to take the baton of life and run. Run your race. Run well, run hard, run fast, and run through the finish. There's no quitting. There's no excuse making. Let me be the first to tell you as I look into these cameras, life is not easy. Life is not fair. You have to do your very best, and you're going to have to let us help. Until the day I die, I will make myself available to any student anywhere in the world that I've met. Guatemala, Panama, Sweden, Oslo, our United States, this school. My hope is that you'll understand that it's your turn. It's your turn. Choices equal consequences. We know what that means. You've all heard me speak, especially in this school, about what happens when we make bad choices, that there's consequences. We didn't control these choices as far as the health pandemic. No one, including myself, is excited about the fact that we've lost over 50 some days, maybe 60 now, of production. I haven't spoken to school in over 2 months in front of a live audience. I miss my students, I miss my teachers, I miss my administrators. But this is the very thing we have to understand. Life isn't fair, it's going to hand us things we don't want, and we have to make a choice. So choices equal consequences. When I showed you that cow picture many years ago, you did not see it until I explained that it was, in fact, a cow. There was an eye, there was an eye, there was the nose, there was a nostril. The room started getting excited. The whole time I had the cow picture displayed on one of my 2 banners that sat up here on your stage. And most of you didn't see it. Once I put it on the big screen, some of you saw it, but still not everyone. In fact, I traced the picture, I gave it yellow eyes, and more people made noises like, oh, I see it. But still not everyone saw it. What's the point? Just because you can't see a cow doesn't mean it isn't there. Just because you can't see the cow when everyone else does doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. LD does not stand for learning disabled or learning disability. LD stands for learning different. And there's students and adults who will watch this video that still, as I'm speaking right now, are going, I'll be darned I don't see it. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need every person that's watching this video to remember you're a part of a solution or a problem, and it's your choice which one you are. When I give my speech, I have 5 elements of a relationship that I talk about: love, trust, self-respect, understanding, and forgiveness. As I go through those pieces, and I show you the videos and the stories that correlate, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make you think. In fact, when everybody asks me, what's Talk is Cheap all about? Why do you love kids so much? I tell them, I love kids because they're our future and because they're still teachable. On the back of my business card, it says I would rather build boys and girls than rebuild men and women. So as I finish this video this morning and you think about these 5 words, I'd say number 5 for a lot of us is where we get stuck. Someone's hurt us. Someone's taken advantage of us. Someone may have lied to us. Someone may even be hurting you in a way that you can never forget. My suggestion this morning is that you learn how to forgive. Maybe that person cannot be forgotten about because it could be dangerous. But here's my challenge. Most of you have not experienced something that traumatic. And I want you to think about the fact, why are you holding a grudge against someone when that very same thing could be being held against you? As I finish up this morning, I loved this screen when I came to this school and I spoke. And when I saw that for the first time, Mr. Jelanese showed it to me with a big smile on his face. I thought to myself, that is pure gold. As I sit down at the end of your stage and look you right in the eye, 3 questions. When's the last time you did good for someone else who couldn't pay you back? When's the last time you did good for someone else that couldn't pay you back? Whether that was just helping them with their yard, taking a garbage can back up the top of the driveway, maybe sending somebody a note that just says, I love you, I think you're awesome, you rock. There's a lot of ways right now while we're in quarantine that we can be creative. You have time. We all argue we don't have enough of it. You have it right now. Second question, how can I encourage others to make a difference? Look around the room of your life and think about how you could be an encouragement to someone else. Someone who feels discouraged. Someone who may know factually that they don't have the gifts and talents you have, but they have something. And your job is to remind them, to encourage them that they have that ability to make a difference. 3, what can I do about making good a habit in my life? There's a lot of things I can't talk about on these videos when I do school assemblies, sadly. One of the most important aspects of my life is spiritual, what God's done in my life. I hint at it a little bit, but I'm careful not to step over the boundary too much. But I will challenge you this morning. Where's your relationship spiritually? Who do you trust in? Right now, during this pandemic, I have 0 fear about the future, no matter what happens. When I watch the news and I hear about this and I hear about that and I hear about Iran and China and everybody goes, oh, what's going to happen? I have no idea. And honestly, there's not a whole lot I can do to change it. If I can, I will. But this is what I won't do. I won't let fear, false evidence appearing real, consume me. I will give it my very best. I'll look into the audiences one day when they're full again and tell them, you're not an accident, you're not a mistake, there's a purpose for your life. And I'll remind them that I'm standing in the presence of greatness, sitting in the presence of greatness. So, from now until the day I'm not here, you can always get a hold of me, david@sitpog.com. You can always reach out to me. If you need help, if you're stuck, if you're discouraged, if you need to be reminded, don't quit, hit me up. Until the day I'm not here, I'll be available to do whatever I can to help push you through your finish. Lastly, are you above or below the line? Right now, for me, I'm real close to the line. I'm a little sad about this whole pandemic. I'm a little sad that I'm not sitting in front of a group of kids and their parents this morning. However, I have to choose joy. Attitude is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I respond. And so it is true. Life is all about attitude. So my choice this morning, I'm going to choose joy. I'm going to serve others. And I want to remind you, keep doing your very best. Look for opportunities to encourage others and make a difference while you can. Thank you for your time. God bless you. Congratulations to my 8th grade class. Have a wonderful day.